Hi everybody, my name is Marin and I'm going to be sharing with you the Brandismo Resistance Loop Bands. Resistance Loop Bands is one of my personal favorite exercise equipment or pieces that you can own, not only because it's super effective and adds so much diversity to your workout, but because it's super easy to carry around and pack. No heavy gym equipment, none of that stuff, and it's super effective. Unlike weights, you're going to have resistance throughout your whole range of motion. Weights only provide that resistance against gravity, and most of the time they're isolated, which doesn't tag your stability muscles that support your bigger muscles. So that's what I really love about loop bands. Now, as you open your Brandismo Loop Bands bag, you'll notice they fit in nice and small. I'm gonna go ahead and stick that over there. And you will have a couple of different colors here, about 5, and they're going to range from light to extra heavy. And you'll notice that the light one is nice and thin, and you can probably pull it really easily. And the extra heavy is super thick, and it takes a lot more strength to pull it. And depending on the range of motion, this is going to add the resistance that's going to give you extra diversity and extra efficiency in all of your workouts. So let's go ahead and begin talking about how you can begin to use these bands in your current routine today. If you are just getting started with bands for the first time, I recommend picking one of the lights. If you're pretty athletic, go ahead and choose the extra light, the light or medium. Go with what works for you. Right now, we're just going to get a feel for the range of motion and not really work out, so to speak. I'm gonna place the rest of my bands here on the ground. I'm just going with the extra light. The nice thing about these bands is because you have multiples, you can use multiple at a time. But starting with one, I'm gonna show you what an isometric hold is. Taking your palms, you're gonna place them in your band like this. Palms facing down, we're extending the arms out in front of us. Feet's about shoulder width apart. Go ahead and apply pressure outside of the bands, extending the arms wide, and hold it. So as you can see, focusing on keeping those shoulders back and down, standing up nice and straight, your core is engaged, it stays nice and tight in there, and you're applying this focused pressure or isometric hold to the band, focusing it out. And as you can tell now, you begin to feel it in your muscles, in your shoulders, in the triceps, maybe even the forearms of your arms, and even in the core slightly. And this is a great therapeutic hold because you're doing it in a nice, organic range of motion or anatomical range of motion. It is contracting not just your large muscles, but all of the little supporting muscles that help you improve your balance and help support your larger muscles and joints as well. And you're also not doing anything that's harsh or high impact to your body. Now, imagine that you continue to hold this isometric hold and incorporate it with some of your movements, like maybe a squat. Now your squat has added another dimension to the exercise movement. Rather than just working out the bottom half of your body, you've now made this a whole upper body workout. So we've got the isometric hold, we've got the exercise. Now let's maintain this isometric hold, and as we squat, lift the arms up. Now this is complete total body movement by simply adding a band. This is why I love exercise loop bands. They are super effective, and like I said, without the hassle or the price that normal gym equipment's gonna use. So I love using these, and they're great for all ages, all shapes, and all fitness levels. Now, remember how I said because you have multiple bands, you can use more than one at a time? Let's go ahead and grab a heavier band. I'm gonna go with medium. If you're super strong, go ahead and try the heavy. And what we're gonna do with this band is I'm gonna place one foot inside, and then I'm gonna place another foot inside and bring the band right above my knee. Now, if I extend my legs like this, we're performing another isometric hold in the legs. We're pushing out, exercising all the muscles in the inner and outer thigh. So keeping that band shoulder width apart because you don't want your knees to buckle, right? This is not good for you. So you're going to have to focus on keeping those knees shoulder width apart, and you're slightly bending here, placing this band back in the hands, isometric hold, squat, lift. If you've gotten a heavy enough band, you're gonna feel it right in your glutes. So now we're adding even more dynamic range to this exercise. You're tagging more muscles in your whole body. You're making the whole body work together instead of isolating the muscles, which is a lot healthier, and it makes you more balanced and efficient in the long run. And you're doing this all in one movement. So this is gonna reduce your time exercising. I was gonna say time at the gym, but then I realized you can do this at home. You can take this to the park. You could put it in your pocket, bring it to work, and do it on your lunch break. It is really that easy, and you can do all sorts of things with it. So to get started, let's go ahead and show you a couple more movements that you can do with your band so that you start building up your dictionary of exercises that you can do creatively with this band. And literally anything that you can think about, you can do it, as long as you're doing it with really good form, right? So let's go ahead and begin with the upper arms. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep the green one so you could, maybe the blue one, so you could see just color-wise, it's easy for you to see the movement. Now, what I like about this is it can actually replace a lot of the exercises that you would be doing with dumbbells or regular gym equipment. So we'll place one hand facing up, palm up, and the opposite hand palm down, just like this in the band. You're gonna take this palm down and anchor it. I like to call it an anchor point. We're gonna create an anchor point right here by extending the arm, okay? This palm facing up is going to have a bent elbow, and we're literally gonna curl up to the shoulder. And as you can see, when I curl to the top, I have resistance all the way down throughout the entire range of motion. So dumbbells are not gonna give you that. It's gonna give you resistance, and once you get to the top, it's gonna stack, and it's gonna feel like a little less resistance at the top, and then as you go down, it increases in resistance depending on your range of motion. So this has an applied resistance the whole time. And as you can see, I'm working to get this band up. I'm feeling it in my shoulders and my bicep and forearms, but not only that, the other point, the anchor point, is getting an exercise as well. Now we can go ahead and reverse this by anchoring the band up now at our shoulder. This arm, bottom arm, palm facing down, is going to be bent at the elbow, and now we're gonna extend for that tricep extension. And I love this because I really like body weight movement and simplicity of exercise, but it is really hard to get the biceps and triceps doing it in body weight unless you have like a pull-up bar or a dip station. So sometimes that's a little too extreme, or it's a little not convenient to be carrying a pull-up bar around or finding a dip station. So having these bands in the pocket is a really easy way to bring that element into your workouts. And you can see I'm shaking. So these are our triceps. Here's our biceps. Like we did an isometric hold. Rather than an isometric hold, you can do the lats, out, overhead. You can do the overhead pull downs, bringing them down. And you can also do this up and down. So up, down. You can anchor down and do lat raises. You can anchor here and side lat raises. And again, you're getting that push and pull motion, so it's a very even and very balanced. If I'm anchoring down with this arm's pulling up and this arm's pulling down, but you're going to anchor here so that wherever you put the mind, where the motion is, that's where you're going to get more of that motion. So you can focus on starting central like this and then pulling up and down so that they're separate, or you can anchor point like this and pull up that full range of motion. It just all depends on what you're looking for, but as you can see, it just takes a couple simple little tweaks to get full diversity in these movements. Now we've also seen doing the band around the thighs, and I love incorporating these with any kind of squat movements or minor lunging. So here we did an isometric hold, but what if you squat, then step together? Now you're extending that band and making it a dynamic movement. You can stand and do your abductors and adductors. We can move this down to our ankles and do nice kickbacks or straight leg extensions behind, and even leg lifts forward. If you are not great with balance, you can do this sitting down or laying down. Nice extensions, or the side leg lifts. And one of my favorites, again, in the back, but having it laying down. This is already difficult enough to try to lift it off the floor. So there are many different ways you can use this band. And of course you can incorporate 2 at a time. And as you can see, with the limited amount of time that we have here on this video today, there's so much you can do. And I tried to run through those a little bit quickly, but go ahead and get started. Check the bands out, play with it, incorporate it into your routine. It is super simple. You're gonna love the benefits and you're gonna love these bands, Resistance Loop Bands by Brandismo. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Marin and I will be seeing you next time.